Sega, the makers of Sonic the Hedgehog, once a company rivaling Big N in the console wars, reduced to a mere game developer publisher after the failing of the Dreamcast. Sega's downfall was even envisioned perfectly by the first Hyperdimension Neptunia game, when Neptune fell down from the realm of goddesses and into the human world of developers. I too strived away from Sega for several years, having played no console from Sega since the Genesis Mega Drive era up until last year, and no Sonic game since the infamous Sonic 06. Last year is what's important when I talk about Sega today. Many people say Sega is done for, and a few years back I was on the verge to agree, as they, like many companies, announced a shift to mobile games and continued Valkyria Chronicle, the only franchise from Sega I still had interest in, only as a browser game. But that announcement gladly was short-lived. 2017 has been a great year from Sega, and they proved that they are still a mighty power in the gaming industry. But don't just believe me, I come with proof. Firstly, Valkyria Revolution. After two great Valkyria Chronicles games and a third entry that never saw a release outside of Japan, Sega came back with a new entry in an alternate universe that blew my mind and was officially the first Valkyria Chronicles games I actually finished. All in all, it was a great game, and I don't care what Metacritic says. I'm making another video on that subject another time. Secondly, Persona 5. Sega bought Atlus, and they did good in doing so. Atlus is one of the best gaming developers there are out there, with their Shin Megami Tensei games, and in particular, especially their Persona spin-off series. They are a driving force in the world of RPG games, and bringing them under the banner of Sega was a wise business choice. The fifth entry in the Persona series is, in my opinion, on par with even Final Fantasy VII, if not above. In terms of storytelling, gameplay, scale and opportunities, it is the biggest and best Persona game ever made. The story stays interesting until the last moment and always stays in high quality, with no bad sections whatsoever. The good critics received from all directions were well deserved. Thirdly, Sonic. Yes, I started playing Sonic again after 11 years. It started when I bought Sonic Generations, a game that I didn't even know existed before, from the PSN. My understanding was that there was Sonic 06, Sonic Unleashed, which I didn't bother with because of bad reviews, and I heard from Sonic Boom. Generations just never entered my scope. I played it and it was good. But that doesn't count for 2017. It was released much earlier. So what happened with Sonic in the year 2017? We got Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces. Sonic Mania was the ultimate nostalgia fest, giving us the old Sonic design and gameplay with the highest speed and new levels. It is hard as hell, but it is a great game that lets us relive the old Sonic days. Sonic Forces is a successor to Sonic Generations, bringing back the classic Sonic from the game and introduces the concept of the avatar. Here I can't just praise Sega for the game. It has a few flaws. The classic Sonic levels are not as good as they were in Sonic Generations, and the game is relatively short, but nonetheless it is fun to play. The Sonic as well as the Avatar levels are well designed and fun to play, and for $40 or euros you can argue that it has little playtime, but then there are people that buy a new ego shooter with 4 hours campaign for $70 or euros, or buy a new FIFA every year. Thank God EA starts selling the database updates in the future. In the end, it was the only thing they were doing for years, selling a database update for 70 euros. But back to Sega. We saw that Sega released some of the greatest titles that were released this year. In my opinion, they are back on track on being one of the major developers in the world. People believing Sega is finished are wrong in my opinion. Will Sega manufacture a new console in the future? Probably not. But it will continue to make great games. That I firmly believe. Oh, look at that. Valkyria Chronicles 4 has been announced. Seems I will be having fun in the future. This was the Gaming Adept. If you have an idea for what topics I should be discussing next, you can send them to me. If I don't get anything, I'll just do whatever I want.